Jack Bauer on TV's 24, and he returns to the big screen next week in the supernatural thriller Mirrors. Please welcome back to the show, Kiefer Sutherland. The ladies in the audience with their 24 shirts on.
That's right.
Very excited.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'd also like to point out that Kiefer and I talked to each other before we came to the show, obviously.
Really?
That's right.
You and Michael and Kiefer are all wearing the same outfit.
Kind of, in a similar way.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
It's very nice to actually finally see you after all these years.
Yeah.
You really exist.
I am here.
Yeah, this is
He's
awesome.
not just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, this is great.
So last week you served as a grand marshal for a NASCAR race.
For a NASCAR race,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, well, I've been doing voiceovers for them for quite a while.
Right.
I would do a lot of the voiceovers for ESPN, and then they made this fantastic IMAX movie, which actually dealt with the history of NASCAR, which is really interesting, actually, how it was born. And so for me, it was the first time I actually got to physically go to a race for all the work that I've been doing for them. And so it was a real pleasure.
Now, we went to a race. We went to Watkins Glen a century ago, right?
Yes.
It was like 10 years ago.
At least a century.
Right. And
Or a decade.
I'm a Formula One guy, right? Mm-hmm. And those guys are very, very nervous before they get into a race. Well, what we noticed was it's kind of loose around the paddock there, right?
There is a kind of a looseness, but it was very funny if you started to watch their faces change, because I got to do the gentlemen start your engines call, and then I walked back, and they're not even near the cars when those engines start, and then I started watching them walk to all their cars.
Game face.
And the whole face changes.
Really?
And that was that's when I got really excited.
That's
Oh,
be
something's going to happen.
Thing as a man to do for a living.
It's pretty
race
butch.
cars, right?
Yeah, it's pretty butch.
Yeah, it's
Do
as big
you
as it
think
gets.
NASCAR racers go to Sade concerts?
Depends on how strong their girlfriend is. Yeah.
Seventh season of 24?
Yeah, we have a wonderful 2-hour film that's coming out in November for 24 on Fox, and then the series starts in January, so we're very excited.
I know a lot of people are really looking forward to it.
We're going to come back more with Kiefer in a moment.
Monday on Live from The Office, actor Rainn Wilson. Still ahead on Live.
Would you say? Is it a supernatural?
It's a horror film.
It's a horror film.
I think we've tried to find different ways to name it, but the truth is it's a very, very scary film. One of the things about it, though, that separates it, I think, from a slasher film like which actually some of them I really love, like the original Friday the 13th and Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween.
But this is not that, because it's really rooted in a character-driven story. So it kind of more like The Exorcist or that, but it's a very, very scary movie. And one of the things I was trying to figure out how to explain why I chose to make it, because it's not something I've done before. I have a twin sister, and when I was about 5 or 6 years old, she and I used to play a game, and we used to love kind of hiding around the corner and scaring the other one. Neither one of us liked being scared very much, but we loved doing the scaring. And this was kind of my adult version of that. There was something wonderful as an actor to be able to go out and there you are. That's it. That's it.
You're right.
And look at the joy on his face. Look at the joy on his face.
Excuse me, I have to go change my underpants. I'll be back.
So you play a security guard who's hired as a night watchman in this burned out department store, right?
Right.
And so you're there by yourself?
He's there by himself, and he's a guy who's down on his luck, and he's trying to pull his family together, which I think you're going to be doing as well. And it really deals with all of the mythology around mirrors. Is that on the opposite side of the mirrors, on the opposite side of your own reflection, is the worst and the most evil things that this universe has to offer, and they're somehow held behind these mirrors. And
this is like the story of my life.
There you are. And unfortunately, in this one place at this one specific time, the most evil thing in the universe is actually trying to use my character as a conduit to get out and free them all.
Cool. Well, we have a clip.
Yes, we do.
In this clip, it's becoming evident to your family that the mirrors are starting to get to you.
Ah, okay.
Mirrors.
let go of me.
You don't want to believe me? Fine, I'll show you.
What are you doing?
I'll show you.
Are you crazy? Have you gone completely mad?
Just wait, you'll see.
See what?
You'll see.
See what, Ben? What am I supposed to see?
It's not happening. It's not happening. Amy, I swear to you, at the Mayflower.
Ben, let's go back inside, okay? Listen to me, baby. I want to help you.
Tell the kids I'm sorry.
Ben!
I think if it's one thing we've all learned by now, you never shoot the mirror in front of the kids.
That's right, in front of the kids. Well, it was very funny during that scene because one of the great points in the film is if you try to explain to someone else that something behind the mirrors is trying to get you, you become insane.
Exactly.
And he tells his sister and he tells his ex-wife and tries to explain what's happening, and he seems to be able to do that. But the second he looks at the children, he thinks he's nuts. And so that was, it was very funny to actually see that in
Well,
that
it
clip.
opens next Friday. It's called Mirrors. Always a thrill to have you here.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
And forgive him for scaring me.
Tuesday.